And so Acer.eu is back to being the stronger Acer team.
Well, it's very strange that the one that makes it to regionals is the one that gets cut. Yeah. It's kind of weird how that works out.
Yeah, it's interesting how that works out. So.
And Karthus, Aurelia, Shen, and York going to be the first ones banned out. I know you're happy about that York ban. We're going to have a fun game today.
Yeah, no one likes playing against him. You know, it makes sense. With that ultimate, he's really strong late game, and then makes you just play really standard in lane, and no one wants to see that. We want to see some action. We want to see, you know, people getting caught out, and York is just a really safe, abusive champion, so get rid of him. And then Sona getting first picked, because Sona is an extremely strong support right now.
Sona is really, really effing good. That poke matches up so well with so many of the top ADs at the moment. One of the best ADs right now being Ezreal, being grabbed up immediately, following up with the Jace. Also, we've talked a lot about Jace, an insanely strong top laner. Looks to be one of the most, one of the hottest pieces of real estate going into World Champs.
Yeah.
And also keep in mind that these servers were hot fixed yesterday.
They were. So quick fixes. Jace, nothing happened to him, right?
Nothing happened.
Oh no, they changed the mana cost on one of his spells to actually scale, so it's more expensive in the late game instead of being flat 40. But other than that, he didn't see anything change. So he's still going to be obnoxious in the laning phase. And if as far as IG is concerned, the Chinese team, you can put him pretty much anywhere.
Yeah.
We saw him mid, we saw him support, we've seen him AD carry, so he can really go anywhere. So, you know, if you can pick a champion who can go in any lane, pick him early and get him as often as you can, get him every single game, and just fit him where you need to, you know, have a stronger matchup.
If you really want to, you can put him in the jungle too. That's the only thing that's the only place we haven't seen him in yet. Yeah. But it's bound to happen eventually. Yeah. Udyr and Graves being picked up there by Against All Authority. Udyr's not a dude we see very often, but you do have a lot of speed-based oriented champs that need to get in to close that distance. Skarner also being one of them. It's just that Udyr, he tacks on a little bit more damage. He gets that stun, Phoenix Dance, nice AoE damage, nice clear there also.
Yeah, there's been an interesting evolution of Udyr play. In the past, he was really farm heavy. You get that Wriggles, and you can just clear extremely fast with Phoenix. But now we're not seeing Wriggles too much anymore. We're seeing more like Gold Pretends. We're seeing like an early Aegis on him, and he goes around. He's just an early Oracles, and he just clears wards and puts a lot of threat into lane. So he's very control oriented rather than maybe farm oriented, which is the way he used to be played. And then what do we got here? We have Nunu and Lulu. Okay, so they actually get Diana, so a good pickup there. Diana, another really strong champion, of course, plays mid and jungle, and we saw top yesterday too. Didn't work out against Shen all that well. It was rather unfortunate, but Diana, another champion that can kind of go in a lot of different roles, and Nunu too. So there's a lot of flexibility coming out of Acer's team at this point.
Yeah, Diana went top lane with the Reddit nerds going up against the Copenhagen Wolves, and yeah, it didn't. Things did not bode very well.
No.
The shield was just a bit too much stronger on the Shen.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, we were both. I mean, I
blown away.
I was guilty. I was like, well, Diana's actually, you know, holding her own in this lane. You look down, she's down 50 farm. So
yeah,
putting her anywhere.
Well, that's the thing though. Even if you're behind in farm, as long as you don't frequently die, that's always a good thing. And then she started frequently dying, and then things just started to take a bit of dirt.
Yeah, that's bad. So.
Cho'Gath and Ahri being considered more than likely going to be picked up. There we go. So Cho top, Ahri mid, Udyr in the jungle.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot more Cho lately.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, it's good. It's you know, it's indicative of a slower game, because you really need Cho to build up those stacks so he can be that frontline tank and get in there and do some CC and silence some people and just absorb a lot of cooldowns and a lot of damage. And you know, you have to play slow in order for that to happen. So I don't imagine the top lane being all that aggressive out of Against All Authority. But again, Jace can put on a lot of poke in that top. He can get in, do a lot of melee damage, and then knock you away, and kind of, you know, play it pretty safe. So it's going to be a little bit difficult for Cho, I could imagine.
It will be a bit of an uphill climb, but remember, one of the best things you can do against someone that has so much poke is to have someone with quite a bit of sustain. Build a Velo Stone on him. When he hits 6, he has the feast. of a little bit more sustain on that.
Yeah.
So he should be able to stick it out, plus some jungle presence from Udyr couldn't hurt. And Zyra going to be the last pick there for Acer. Gonna be going in the mid, so it looks like a Diana jungle, at the very least, just possibly waiting for them to swap. Otherwise, then, or actually, it could be Nunu jungle Zyra support, actually.
I have heard of that, actually. We've actually seen it. I'm trying to think.
I know SGS ran it.
Oh, okay, that's right. So, yeah, SGS has ran it. So, more in the Asian scene, we're seeing Zyra support. But she has a really strong ability to push, and with Ezreal can, of course, poke really well, too. Her ability to stun, it goes through minions, and so that is actually a really good thing for Ezreal. If they're stunned, he can jump in and do a lot of damage. And, of course, the poke and the push with those freaking plants, they're so annoying, but they're going to do a really good job of pushing the lane and giving some good lane control for Team Acer.
So wait, is there any last-second switches? That does not appear to be. So yeah, it looks like Zyra support down into bot lane for Acer. So let's take a look at all of her stuff first. Let's take a look at runes and the masteries. GP10's armor and magic resist. Masteries running 0-15-15. So even a little bit of movement speed, that is one of Zyra's weaknesses, is that she's not the most mobile of champs.
Yeah.
So going for the initiator and also going for the swiftness, that's going to be a little bit of a boost. A little bit of mana regen, not too much. But Zyra support functions very much the same way as a Yorick support would. You're there primarily for the harass and for the light CC, except the CC on Zyra is just a little bit better, and you also get vision on the seeds as well. But yeah, there is no sustain. There's no health or mana or movement, or there's not really a whole bunch that you give your AD. You're just there to help him get kills. And you look at Leomi there. You got the Ignite. They're looking for kills in the bot lane.
Yeah, absolutely. And I actually really like that Zyra pick next to the short range of Graves. That's like the one downfall of Graves in that laning phase, is he has to get in pretty close to land those last hits and to land those Qs on the buckshot. And so if he gets a little bit too close, Zyra can do a ton of damage early game with those seeds. So you can actually place those in the bush and set up kind of a trap where you zone them well into these seeds and then just do a ton of damage. So it's going to be really difficult for Graves to get in and actually get those last hits because of Zyra's presence. So I actually really like that pick.
You got a little bit of attack speed, a little bit of tank on the Cho'Gath. He just wants to make sure those spikes come out frequent and often and hurtful as much as they can. Yeah, we got a quick look on Althor there. That's standard stuff for Ahri. Let's also take a look at Diana, and then we'll take a look at Jace next before we go into the loading screen. So Diana, some AP, some health, can be very tanky.
That late game health,
Well, yeah, it's not too bad. 21-9-0, nothing all too odd there. And let's take a look at Shabs. What's he running on Jace there? What's he going to be doing in the top lane? Standard physical damage. You got some armor. You got some resist. 19-11. And it's strange. We're seeing a lot more people actually, instead of full out going to 21 on the offense tree, just cutting it short at 19. Just so the defense tree is a little bit more resilient. You see a lot of more people going for like the extra minion resistance and also some of the just flat damage resistance also. And that's a big telltale sign. It's like you're not going for kills. You're going for harass. You're just going for poke.
Yeah. It's and the top lane is so much about trading. So just not being afraid of getting in there with trading, taking less damage than your opponent, and a little bit of resistance, so you can be more aggressive against those minions. You can get in there. You don't have to be so afraid. Of course, they can still hurt a lot, but they can be a little bit more aggressive. And I think that's one of the key things for Jace is doing the damage, following them up, getting all of your combos off, and then hitting them away. And so if you can take less damage in that process, you're going to be considerably more successful.
Yeah, of course, every time you go in for that harass, all the neighboring minions are like, "Oh man, he's hitting our boss. We should do something about this. Take this, take that." It's like a sea of like ants, like trying to poke at your feet. But you get enough of them, though, they can screw your stuff up.
They can kill you.
They could kill you if they are fire ants.
Ants are dangerous.
Ants are dangerous, man. Never have a picnic around them.
No, don't.
Ever. That's pretty. No. How much was it? Like they can. Was it like 10 times their body weight or something?
Like 50.
50? That's crazy.
Or 500. It's ridiculous.
So why don't we have a giant ant champion? Like that'd be crazy. Cho'Gath kind of fits that role.
Yeah, the new champion looks kind of insect-like.
Yeah, that's right. Like was the friggin' K's name. I can't pronounce it.
I'm not
K6.
Yeah, not totally sure about it, but he looks really cool. I like the whole Alien versus Predator thing going on.
Get some Rengar action.
Yeah,
it's always
really
good.
Excited.
That's always a good thing.
Yeah. So when we get into games like this, I'm such a jungle person that I like to look at the jungles, and I think Udyr is going to have a really hard time against Nunu because of the ability of Nunu to kite Udyr all over the map. And Udyr actually has a pretty quick clear speed, but the thing about Nunu is, with that consume and smite, he can steal things really quickly as well. So Udyr might have some real issues against Nunu. So I don't think we're going to see a lot of counter jungling out of Udyr. Instead, I think he's going to go mostly control, just clear the wards, control the map, and just put pressure on the lanes, and maybe not seeing a whole lot of ganks. That's kind of how we're seeing Udyr played now, and I kind of expect that in this game too.
Lyumi right there on the ramp to the blue buff does retreat after seeing some of the members of Against All Authority try and make their way on in for the invade. But in the meanwhile, you have all the remaining members of Acer going on in and actually camping out the blue brush. You got the ward down there on the head of the brush, waiting for Udyr to come on in. They want vision on him first before they re-engage. Attempt for a kill, attempt for a steal. Not to mention you also have a nicely placed ward, as we saw earlier, right in front of the Wraith camp. And Nunu can just walk on in, snack on it, and get out of there. Or even smite it over the wall if he's in a bit of a dangerous spot. Linak is making his way on up. He's rightfully apprehensive. Does get the vision down on the Citizen Lane, right out in front of Adrenaline with the pull, the hooks, the vines keeping him still. Acer looking to get the blue. You got the rupture coming in from Cho. Can this steal happen? You got the gate out in front, and there's the steal from Amazing. We'll be waddling on out of there with the enemy blue, and Linek all of a sudden is very behind.
Yeah, that's a really bad situation. Udyr is really mana dependent early game because you're going to be trying to go back and forth between the stances. And you really need that early turtle stance so you're not taking a whole lot of damage from creeps. So he's missing out on two things that are going to help him be successful in the jungle. And so he's going to be pretty far behind. And it's going to be really a big issue as he can't put any pressure onto the lanes now.
He will, at the very least, try to grab his red. He's going to get very low. Mana is lacking, health is lacking. He may actually have to back early if he once he runs out of potions. They're already down to his last one. Lyumi taking a bit too much damage from Antigen there, gets very low. And that's the thing too, is that Adrenaline helping out with that invade earlier is the support is only now entering lane 3 minutes into the game. So this entire time Lyumi's just been fighting off against the world here in 2v1.
Yeah, he's really behind on farm this early. I mean, it's 3 to 15, so it just shows the presence of Against All Authority in the lane early. That's, it's actually a really dangerous thing. And that's why, I mean, that can really lead into a really hard snowball in the bot lane. Like, they could really leverage that. They're going to have the level advantage over Zyra, and Zyra's going to need some levels to put on the right harass. So I completely expect Graves and Sona to be really aggressive in this early game.
And while AAA is doing very well in bot, we can't say the same for them top lane. Jace is just doing work. Shabs getting all the farm in. Sufficient harass, 20/7 right now. And Tall has no choice but to farm under tower, screaming at the minions in frustration. Get in my mouth. I want to eat you. I need that gold. I need that experience because I am so far behind right now.
That's a pretty good Cho'Gath. I think that's what he would say.
Yeah, I think so.
Honestly.
He's got the speakers for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And so Nunu just continuing to farm well, and bot lane continuing to just poke out. So I mean, if Against All Authority isn't careful, they're going to lose that early level lead, and they're going to get forced out of lane, just poked down. And it's interesting, Sona is kind of queen of poke in that bot lane, but I mean, now we're seeing Zyra, and Zyra has something to say about that, getting in, landing those stuns, or binds rather, and just doing a lot of work.
Shabs getting caught out. The Udyr came on around, and Shabs has no option but to run down the long way for a retreat, and Citizen Lane is looking to reunite with him, trying to keep Aldor busy so he doesn't grab the kill. Onto the Jace, here comes Amazing with the snowball, keeping Udyr slowed just a little bit, but Citizen Lane still looking to kite damage in retreat. The charm going down onto Diana. You got shots from behind, go down to Jace. Citizen Lane getting very low. Has he used his flash hit? No, he hasn't. He's waiting for the right opportunity. The Ignite is also still up but staying by to tower. Is he going to be looking for a quick kill here? It's going to be very risky if he does, possibly looking to juke out a skill shot from Althor. There's a lot of dancing going on underneath this tower. Both champs in mid know that one combo could potentially mean death. Free auto attack down on Assassin. He gets the Q. He gets the damage a little bit, but is he too far out? Shield going to be preventing the true damage from the tail end of that orb. It's a very risky dance here in mid.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ari, it seems like Ari's just kind of toying with Citizen Wayne, just to be like, hey, I'm not gonna let you farm. You know, you go up for that last hit, I'm gonna, you know,
I'm gonna get you.
I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna
get you.
Yeah, exactly. So it's mostly just threats and just putting some pressure on the lane. Meanwhile, Nunu coming in to see if he can land that snowball. He is really fast with that blood boil. Gets a snowball off and the flash out of the way.
Very well done. Very well timed by Nunu, but Citizen Wayne cannot catch up. He cannot connect with the rest of it because he is out of mana. Linek finding out amazing is actually he's going the long way out just to retreat from this, looking to juke someone out of the bush. But here comes the teleport from Jace back from base. He does have some mana. Nice kill. First blood going down to Diana onto the Ari being caught out in their own jungle. Nice coordination from Acer.
Yeah, really nice. You know, Nunu knows that Udyr is quite a bit behind now. Oh, and Citizen Wayne going really aggressive on Udyr, but Udyr is gonna not make it out. Okay.
No, amazing. Tanking that turret like a boss, getting very low, and just look the health on Acer. They know exactly when to engage and when to get out of there. Their management on their health and knowledge on engagements is very, very well organized here.
Yeah.
You saw it. I was expecting Citizen Wayne to back straight out, but he had the game plan all set. He's like, Nunu, you're not too far behind. Jace, you still have to teleport in case of emergency. There is still a kill here, and by staying in the lane, by being the bait, managed to convince Althor to stick around a little bit longer than possibly should have.
Yeah, absolutely. And getting that kill onto Udyr is gonna have such an impact on the mid game. Now Udyr is even more you know, out of this game. Level 3 right now, getting the blue buffs. Oh my gosh. So 3 to 5. And the thing is, Nunu is such a strong counter jungler. When you have that level and farm advantage, you know, and that item advantage, you can really go in and just tease your opponent. Go in, steal stuff. There's literally nothing they can do. And of course, Udyr has to be close range to get that stun off, to do that Phoenix damage. And Nunu is a champion that is not going to let that happen. So Udyr is in really, really bad shape. And it's going to be interesting to see how he gets out of this hole.
Also, not to mention that Ari's did not the greatest shape either. Just dinged 6. Well, Citizen Wayne has actually been level 7 for a little bit, so that's a level advantage there in the mid. Creep advantage and everything. Just that last exchange just gave Citizen Wayne all the time he needed to just surpass Ari outright. Top lane's a little bit more even. Both of our champs level 6. You do have you've got Toll catching up a little bit in the farm, but he's still got a long ways to go. He's still about 10 creeps behind, plus the hammer to deal with. Being knocked backwards by Shavs. Can he actually make it to tower? You got the rupture coming on in. Long distance shots are still a possibility from this Jace. That's one of the best things he does. Just long pokes from a distance to just chunk out anyone he needs to. But the Cho'Gath, though, still looking to stay, camping out top lane just a little bit. He realizes that one of his best opportunities to farm is underneath tower, but he's going to have to contest with that gun.
Yeah, that's scary for Cho. And Cho really is, like we mentioned in the champs, like a champion who needs to play slow, and he got a little bit too low. Now here comes Diana to jump on Cho and take that kill really easily. And Cho just overextended and let Jace get behind him and was able to, you know, land that hit and push Cho back and just do way more damage than he needed to take right there. And so I don't think he had any feast stacks. I'm not completely sure. But
I don't think he used it at all.
Yeah, I don't think he used it either. So not that big of a loss, but Cho
really
also
needs, not that big of a Cho'Gath.
Yeah, that's true. Nice. well said. But yeah, he needs to play it slow and not be overly aggressive. And the problem is, if he's trying to last hit, I mean, he can pretty easily push the lane, which is not what he wants to do. His abilities, you know, tend for that lane pushing.
Acer is well aware that Linek is out there in that bot brush, so they will not get aggressive for the time being until they see him leave, which he now does. Wait for the lane to push on up. Antigen, he can just have this wave. That's fine. You don't want to lose. You don't want to die at this point when you're so far ahead.
Yeah, absolutely.
Linek will recognizing that there's no gank possibilities down bot, runs back, grabs the small golems. He's still at a severe disadvantage. How far gold is he behind? He's behind a few hundred, which is a pretty significant gap. But top lane is behind by a much wider gap, and Tull may actually just die once again. Amazing looking for the assist on this one this time. Snowball going down to Rupture from Tull, just to dissuade Acer from continuing the chase, and he's locked out. He's locked out of farming at this point.
Yeah, he's doing pretty well. He's only down 18 right now.
Yeah.
So that's not too bad. Cho isn't necessarily a champion who needs a ton of gold. He just really needs those feast stacks. So if he can get those things, he should be good. Oh, but they're flashing. They're going after it.
Oh, nice flash out. Yumi will not get caught up in that stun. But Geo, the minions, will he be able? No, he will be fine. For a second, I thought that Cannon Minion was just going to go right after that stun. I was like, I want your autograph, actually. But here comes Citizen coming in from behind the bot. Tri-brush. There's a great possibility for a gank. Strolling on through is pretty easy. Nothing else really there to report. But Althor is now coming down. He's got the ultimate coming down. Can he get the damage to connect? For the kill, Autodrenal, the Ignite is down. Should be able to grab that one. Linek is getting very low, though. But you also got the passive coming from Zyra. Will not be enough to take out Antigen. But there is Citizen with a flash to connect on that one. Can Citizen Wayne clean up here? The double kill on the tail end of the Q to grab Udyr.
Man, I had a really good time watching that play.
That was fun.
That was really good. And as you know, as Citizen Wayne continued to chunk down Ahri and Graves there, I was like, oh, this could be a triple. He could turn around, and that's the power of Diana. You know, does that AoE damage on her Q, and you can use that ultimate twice, so it can really hop around and do a lot of damage, and that shield to protect you and get. Oh my gosh, just close the gap.
Is it gonna be enough? Is it gonna be enough? Nice diving on in, but the turret shot will get the shutdown. The credit going to Althor for that at the very least. But still, kill for kill, you did get the assist to Sona, but they did also kill enough time for the rest of Acer to grab that dragon. So it's still a pretty good net gain. It's just that Citizen Wayne can no longer go for that flawless victory that he's been going for.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good trade because now they're both going to be coming back, Ahri and Diana, to mid lane, both with full life, both with full mana, and Diana's way ahead. 6-1. So actually Ahri's in a pretty bad position after losing and dying there. You know, just increasing the 2K
gap.
Yeah.
It's a 2K lead that Citizen Wayne has right now.
Yeah, it's pretty significant.
It's insane.
And Diana is a champion who needs a lot of gold, unlike Cho'Gath, and she's definitely getting that gold, and it's going to be able to put a lot of pressure onto against all authority in the mid game.
You got 1K lead, more than 1K lead up on top lane. You got a 2K lead down in the mid, and you got a whole bunch of miscellaneous gold being spread out elsewhere. Shafts over the forest wall, looking for the kill onto Althor, looking for the slam, but amazing. With the Nunu ult, it was a little bit split in an awkward place to have it, but still you get the slows, you get the CC, you get the damage you need. Diana also laying in wait just in case something goes wrong on this attempt on the blue steel, but also still hungry for more kills. You got Cho and Ahri. Ahri throwing the charm backwards, looking to keep amazing still, but that's not going to be enough, and Acer should be stealing this blue pretty convincingly.
Yeah, Acer's significantly ahead, and a lot of this is as a result of the control of Nunu. Nunu has a lead, and Udyr is basically irrelevant in this game right now. Just too far behind, not tanking enough to make a big difference.
I mean, he's trying to get position.
Yeah, he's trying to make plays happen, but I mean, Acer's pretty dang far ahead, and that gets hard. And you know what happens when you gank a losing lane? There's always that possibility that you're going to die too. Yeah.
Right there, as he immediately runs away as Jace is teleporting, and he's going to be met by amazing end Citizen down in the river, and he's regretting his decision to try and get aggressive, and will fall very quickly to the Nunu. Yeah, that's exactly what you said. That is the risk you run, and that's the thing though, is that most of these lanes are at a severe disadvantage for against all authority. So it's a rough situation to be in that Linux, and when you're not quite sure which lane to gank because every lane is doing poorly.
Yeah, exactly. That's the worst feeling as a jungler. But Diana just going in, doesn't even care about the tower, just taking it and just poking down with that Q, so that's pretty crazy. But yeah, when you're way behind as a jungler and you're losing the lane and you go and you try to make a play like that where you're kind of in the opponent's territory, sitting back and looking for that tower dive, if the opponent catches a glimpse of you, mid can just come down and really just, you know, drop bombs on you.
Everyone collapses.
Everyone just collapses because it's such a long road to get out. And even with bear stance, it's not enough. And
especially if you're playing on blue side, because that is one of the hardest things to get out of, is that tri-brush down on bot over on the purple side or red side, depending on your vision. You got Liumi. An exhaust was used by Zyra earlier. No pickups on there. The ultimate is still available to Shabs. Being caught out. Linek looking for those plays. Speed buff. You got the rupture coming in, and Woltol finally be able to get this one. Linek finally getting a kill to his credit with good positioning there top lane and good instance. Shabs just was caught. No wards there in the river, but amazing now coming down. Snowball on to Geo, just going to get chunked out. Nice flash out of the Zyra ultimate. No one's going to get caught behind, but you're still in quite a bit of trouble. The Ezreal coming on in, and Sona was right out in front, took the full damage from it. Will fall there. Top tier 1 is going down, so Total Linek taking that one, but here comes Citizen Wayne. Antigen meets him in the bush. There's the Q. 1-2, does not get the third part, does flash out of it, but who cares? You still have another dash available with the Ignite. Citizen Wayne secures that kill. 7-1-2 right now.
Yeah, Citizen Wayne definitely earning his keep. He is looking amazingly strong. Diana snowballs so hard. Yeah. And we're seeing that right now. I mean, Graves was killed in like 3 moves in an auto attack. And of course, the auto attacks off of Diana do just a ton of damage too with that passive.
What are we at right now? So every third attack, it's about 230 extra magic damage.
Yeah, we're only 16 minutes into the game.
In addition to the plus 20 magic pen, the plus 20 magic pen from the aura. Linek with the flash looking to keep Liumi behind. Hey, you still got one.
Yeah.
Catching someone off guard, and that's what AAA needs to do. They need to catch people off guard. And Linek, these past 2 kills that he's gotten now, very effective.
Yeah,
he's been able to pick off all these stragglers, but still though, but that's not going to happen unless you catch someone without wards in the river, which Shabs has now resolved and fixed for himself. And that's also certainly not going to be happening on someone super fed like Citizen Wayne is.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you have to pick off the lower hanging fruit. You got to get the Jace, you got to get the Nunu, you got to get the Zyra.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean,
there you go.
Udyr is trying to make plays, like you said, but he's building as a control jungler. You know, he has a lot of tankiness, and so he's not doing a lot of damage. Oh my gosh.
Wayne
just too much.
Could get caught out there, but you also got a fight going down in top lane. Also, Shabs being caught out. Althor now making a visit. The orb looking to get the kiss down, but the charm will be more than enough. Meanwhile, back down in bot lane, Citizen Wayne, how's he doing? Very low, 350 health or so. But Adrenaline is right there. The Ezreal will come on in, and here comes Amazing, looking to close the gap, keeping the ult down, getting the split on, and Geo getting very chunked out. Citizen Wayne going to be grabbing that kill also. Antigen trying to fend off the Yeti under tower, but it will not be enough. Amazing just tanking like a boss. And here comes the wave, and they're going to keep the push down in the bot because they realize that top lane, Linek and Talder, this is a bit of a last-ditch effort on them. They want to take as many objectives as they can while everyone else is distracted in another lane. You should also see Althor pushing down in mid a little bit also, but they're going to be sacrificing their 2-2 bot here. They cannot defend this.
Yeah, I mean, it's a race. I like the idea of that split push, but Acer's just too far ahead, and so is able to take the same amount of objectives and get some kills too. So it actually puts them considerably in the lead. But I understand, against Authority, they're trying to make things happen. It's just really hard right now because they don't have any ward coverage because Nunu is everywhere with that Oracles. I mean, that's one of the strengths of Nunu. You get the Boots 5, the Boots of Mobility, you have the Blood Boil. With the Oracles, you're all over the map just clearing wards, and you don't have any vision. And we're seeing how strong Acer's roaming is. They get to go wherever they want. They're collapsing on bot lane. They're really just helping these lanes snowball. Citizen Wayne, he's already won mid, so let's make sure the other lanes win too.
Yeah, Acer's team is ridiculously mobile. You can dash around with Diana. You got the shift from Ezreal, movement speed buff for everybody on Jace.
Yeah.
And for Nunu also. And it really, and Zyra, who's someone who really lacks mobility, and you're playing her support. She doesn't quite need to be right there on the front line. You're just there throwing down seeds. You're gardening, really. It's like you're just, well, everyone's off fighting. You're out there in the front yard in the garden. You got your little shovel. You got your gardening pants on.
Yeah, she's a hobbyist.
She's a hobbyist.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, she's just hanging out, just passing the time.
Yeah,
and it's really good. You're right. The range on her ultimate and the AoE there is just massive. So she really can just kind of sit back and And actually, I'm noticing Cho's getting pretty huge, so he's doing what he needs to do.
Is that full stacks? He is at full stacks.
Oh, is he? Okay, so he's right where he needs to be. You know, that's pretty early. Only past that one death. Just don't die, but past that one death, he hasn't died anymore, so that's awesome. He has decent farm. He's getting into his item. He has 2 gold per 10, so he's definitely still in this game, and he's going to be a tanky beast. And now Diana has to be really concerned if she wants to actually dive in. You're at risk of being ulted.
Yeah, and this is this is the thing playing up against Cho Sizzling out in front. Sona ult to keep the Diana still, and there you go, Instant grabbing that one. A teleport coming from Jace just a tad bit too late. Now he's in a bit of danger. Adrenaline caught out in front. The Charm will not be getting the tail of that, but Shabs is exhausted, hiding underneath the tier 1 tower. The feast going down, and as he flash out once more from Amazing back into the Wraith camp. And it looks like against all Authority, all they need to do is fend off the Ezreal, and they should be able to take down this tier 1 in mid and continue the push. But Lyumi, that is a lot of damage in that Ezreal. He's got quite a bit of farm on him, but a flash backwards, looking to pick something up, looking for the Charm, not going to grab it. They push him away, but there's enough time cleared to take out the tier 1 there in mid.
Yeah, the really good team fighting out of Against All Authority, staying together. And they were pushing in a position where they knew that Acer was split up, and Ezreal, you're just not in the right place, dude.
Soda, can you grab that? Yes, Gio with the kill to pick up on everyone. Flashes out, but does not escape the hammer. Althor out in front. If you can get another Charm, that would be ideal. Nice, gets it onto Amazing. He throws down the ult in desperation, but will not be doing a whole hell of a lot. The plants behind from Zyra, still looking for damage, but that was... I wish I knew what was going through Lyumi's mind. He's like, I'm just going to sit here, I'm going to flash out. Holy crap, I need to flash out. Shift to flash. Very good escape route. But Gio right there in front, just because your support doesn't mean you can't get your positioning right and pick up those kills, especially on Soda. Just Q, auto tech, got that kill. Yeah,
that was really good play, good knowledge. I mean, it cost her life, but it's good
taking
out the AD carry in exchange for the supports. That's a really good trade for them. But Acer just not playing the team game that they need to play. They need to get a good initiation, and they don't necessarily have that. I mean, really, Zyra's ultimate can really help. Nunu can go in an ultimate too, but they're not very coordinated right now. They're kind of trickling in, and Against All Authority is having no problem cleaning up.
But also keep in mind that nearly all of the gold lead that has been gathered up by Acer, the vast majority of it is all on Citizen Wayne. He's 8-2-2. The rest of the team, in comparison, actually not doing so hot. And you saw earlier in that fight, they chunked out Citizen Wayne huge. They forced him out of there. He's not with the team, so that gives AAA with that front lane for the frontline tank of Cho to just push around Acer, and you saw them do exactly that.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, man. Like if Diana can't dive in because she's going to get burned down really quickly, all she really has is her Q. She relies so much on that close range damage. If she's only her Q, then Acer just needs to sit back and poke. But with people like Cho'Gath who can go in and kind of initiate really hard, it's going to make it really hard for Acer to just sit back and do the poke game that they need to do right now.
Citizen might be caught out there, just dives straight on in, looking for the CC, looking for the AoE damage, and Citizen Wayne does have a Zonier's Hourglass, will be looking to escape some of the damage, but not for a long. Antigen grabbing the kill on that Ezreal, also picking up the kill on to Arya. Amazing caught out in the back, and Gio is looking to retreat. Toll recognizing he does not want to lose us next. Linek out in front, trying to take all the damage, being the turtle he is, but told him, can he get the rupture? Any more damage? No. Shabs looking for the poke from a distance, and Acer squeaking that one out, splitting Gio away from the rest of the team, and Ezreal may be able to shift on over and grab that stray kill if he wants to. No, he's going to stay with the rest of the team in mid, look to pressure down the tower, and maybe even still get a kill down onto that show. You still have this poke. There's a lot of poke from the 3 remaining members of Acer. You just need the minion wave to support it. Rupture coming on in, will not be grabbing the Ezreal. Free damage also coming in from Zyra, looking to just clear the waves, but everyone has respawned at this point, and Acer cannot push down this tier 2 anymore.
That was some pretty brilliant initiation from Diana in that team fight, going in, blowing all of her cooldowns, and then Zonia, and then coming out and still be able to do some damage. So that's exactly what they needed to happen, and it helps actually Diana, who's basically carrying Acer right now,
pretty much,
to do what she needed to do. And Against All 30, pretty clumped up. Didn't have the best initiation, weren't able to focus who they needed to. Graves went down really quick. And that's actually one of the benefits of Diana getting back there and taking out the AD carry and allowing your AD carry to just do work. And we saw that, and it was really successful for Team Acer.
And you're also starting to see the magic resist is being stacked here. You got Udyr on the wit's end. You got the Abyssal also on Ahri. Cho's looking to tank up a little bit also. Is that a Youmuu's in progress on Ezreal? It's a Brutalizer in the Average Blade. Yeah, that's... Why? Youmuu's on Ezreal. I don't think I've seen that.
Why?
Well, Brutalizer early on a lot of ADs, the cooldown reduction is huge. The armor pen is huge. But it's not ideal. Usually when you see... that doesn't usually get completed until like super late game. I would expect Ezreal more to go for that training. Althor recognizing an advantage and a man advantage here. Jason's now with the rest of the team, dives on in to try and check out Citizen Wayne, but here comes Shaps from behind. Amazing, very low. Citizen with the Hourglass. Will he be able to get out of there? He's got the shield. Can Geo chunk him out? Yeah. Antigen with the pickup. Linek and Tull still in the bush, looking to keep Acer away. Rupture going down onto Adrenaline is left behind. Charm keeping her on the ramp. Double kill for Antigen. Very well done. And Acer just caught off guard in a 4v5. Jace wasn't there. He joined the fight too late, and against All Authority, grabbing that fight and a potential Baron attempt here. They're all moving on up.
Yeah, I really like that. Really strong play out of against All Authority. Their team coordination is very strong. They know when to engage, and they saw that it was a 4v5 in that situation. And man, against All Authority, really tanky team as well, with Udyr, with Cho'Gath, and then the passive on Graves make them hard to take down.
Amazing. He knows something's up, but the rest of the team's going to get there a little bit too. What? You got Jace getting the kill onto the Ahri was a little bit low, but Ahri also managed to kill him. I got to take a look at that again because that was a very interesting shot. I just want to take a look at that to see exactly what happened. Althor actually left the pit. Was going on in. It was just a double haymaker. You got some assistance coming from Antigen, but it just was not enough to save the nine-tailed lady.
And AAA, man, they're in a really good position at this point. They have Baron, they're super tanky, and they're really turning this game around. And that's all because of the poor team fights coming out of Team Acer. They had such a strong advantage, but they aren't initiating the right way. They had the one good team fight. We saw the good initiation out of them, and we saw the result. They ended up winning that thing. But everything else, it's just they've been 4v5 or out of position or split up, or there's been something that's been holding Acer back, and it's been enough to bring against All Authority back into this game.
Yeah. One Fed champ does not make a team and does not necessarily make a win.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you see, I know a lot of you out there have been playing ranked and out there they've been solo queuing and recognizing it's like, hey, you gotta play, you gotta carry the team on your back.
Yeah.
And but there are instances when that does become a little bit rough because the one disadvantage of looking to carry your entire team is that you have all the gold front loaded on you, and the rest of your team is considerably weaker for it. And now you see against All Authority looking to carry on this in the team fights, you'll see that the gold distribution is a lot more even on them. Granted, you have a little bit more onto Graves, but he's the AD carry. He can definitely use that to check out more damage. But you look on the side here of Acer, there's so much, it's a huge disparity with Citizen Wayne and the rest of the team.
Oh yeah, Citizen Wayne's farm is also quite amazing. Over Ahri, 118 to 229, so extremely significant gold differential out of the AP mids.
Yeah, got the Baron buff on against All Authority, looking to pressure down this tier 2 in the mid, while the rest of the lanes are looking to catch up. The push in both the top and bot are actually in the favor for Acer, but that will not be a story for long. Charm go down onto Shaps. Jace looking to run away. You also got the plays from Zyra looking to deflect everyone. A lot of free harass going into Leone. Looking to front load some damage on with the True Shot Barrage, but it's still split the rest of the team. Amazing out in front with the Nunu ult for no real apparent reason. Zyra with the ultimate. Everyone just scatters and backs off. So many ultimates are down for Acer right now. You got Ahri now looking to dash on in. And if you really want, you still got Sona ult, you still got Graves ult. This is a great opportunity for against All Authority to just stay here and camp it out. You forced out so many ults already. There are none left for Acer that will make a difference. Sona ult coming on in. Citizen Wayne out in front will be chunked out before he can use the Hourglass. Very well done. We're going to be an amazing split away from the rest of the team. Exhaust down onto the Ezreal. Linek still leading the charge. Amazing is now split from everybody else. And against All Authority, taking out that tier 2. Very well coordinated and nice forcing out of the ults earlier.
Yeah, man. Cho'Gath, extremely tanky and he's so big. He just sits in the front and just takes all that damage. You saw Ezreal blow his ultimate to just hit Cho'Gath. I mean, that's not a good use of mana, but meanwhile, Acer
getting caught out on the back line, the vines from Adrenaline. Zyra catching him out, Nunu with the snowball. Antigen is out in back, is taking free harass from the rest of the team, but the slows will wear off. He will rejoin the rest of his team, but there was a Shirelia's pop. Can he get one more snowball? No, Nunu cannot close the gap. He cannot get there just yet.
Yeah, Nunu was getting a little bit too far
out
hungry.
There.
He's really hungry, but he could have, and so is Cho'Gath.
So Cho'Gath.
Cho'Gath could have made some damage happen there if Nunu got too far out.
Yeah, so 14 to 17, and despite all this pressure that Against All Authority has been putting on, they are still at they're still at a 3.5k gold disadvantage, but that is very misleading, like we said before, because most of the gold is on Sis Dwayne, and Against All Authority is doing a very good job in forcing Diana out of these fights.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm actually really surprised. I mean, that Against All Authority is doing so well with Udyr being as far behind as he was in that early game. But we look now, he's 2-4-6, Nunu 1-2-11. I mean, it's really close in terms of gold. I mean, yeah, what is that, less than 1,800, especially with such a poor early game out of Udyr. So, and Acer getting really aggressive, just going to go in and take this dragon really quick, sneaking it in.
Yeah, recognizing that all of AAA has backed. This is Wayne out in front, will actually get caught. Huge damage coming on in. The Zonia's popped a little bit earlier than expected, but you do have Shabs looking to split Antigen from away from the rest of the team. Altar in pursuit does grab the kill.
Oh.
You got Adrenaline caught out in front. Will also be following Ezreal ult. Everyone splits off. Perfect. Everyone is a goalpost. Letting the Ezreal ult just go right down the middle. Amazing flashing on out of the charm. And once again, everyone from Acer is in full retreat. Citizen Wayne got caught out once again. And that's what happens. The rest of your team just goes down with you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a bit of overconfidence coming out of Acer. I mean, they are really, really strong and they can do tons of burst damage. So they're just kind of roaming around, and they got that dragon. They're like, hey, we're positive. This is good. Things are going our way. And then they face check a bush and everything turns around on them and puts Against All Authority in a good position. Are they going for dragon that's not there? Is that what's happening?
I was like, oh, so that's why Acer was in that bush. They just finished it. Well, that just makes things a little bit more clear. Now we know why.
Yeah, absolutely.
But now that everyone's respawned, Acer, they have the Shirelia's pop from Nunu, looking for a snowball, looking for aggression. Geo pops Shirelia's in response just to get out of the way. Leomi and amazing. Acer's still playing aggressive when they need to be playing a little bit more defensive kill time and trying. Baron should be coming back up in a few minutes, about 2-3 minutes, and that should be the next fight, which they should be looking to try and completely take over. Yeah. Because splitting up, we see what it does to Acer. They just lose 2-3 members, and then AAA just leaves. They get out of there, and every time they lose those small fights, it's giving more and more gold back to AAA. It's keeping them in this game.
Yeah, I'm actually concerned. I don't think Acer can team fight at all at this point. I mean, even if they get the good engage, they're all just a little bit too squishy. I mean, to be completely honest, they don't have the tankiness aside from Nunu, so they can get burned down really quick. And their abilities, aren't the best AoE abilities. I mean, you have those ultimates, but once those are gone, you're kind of left, you're in trouble, actually. Meanwhile, Ahri and Graves and Cho and Sona, I mean, they have some really good AoE damage, and so it's going to be pretty difficult for Acer in the teamfight phase. They need to catch people out, but they really haven't. They're the ones that are getting caught out. Yeah.
Look at Ezreal and Nunu right here. They're just so far away from everyone else, going straight up the middle. AAA has just split the jungle in half. This is your side, that's my side, and it's a very bad spot. You got the vision down onto Amazing, and AAA looking to chunk out the Nunu big time. Yeah, Lumi caught out in the back, but here comes Citizen Wayne. A little bit late to the party, but can he get what he needs? Geo does get caught out by the Ezreal ult, but the Sona ult will happen. Zyra ult popping up the majority of the members of AAA, but Antigen is still free and easy from that, still able to get the damage down from the back line. You got the speed boost coming in from Jace, but Lumi, can you get away? Antigen still in pursuit. Lumi gets the kill down onto the Lumi gets the kill down onto the Udyr, but Shabs does have a Guardian Angel. He will be caught in the bush though. Beast plus an orb, gonna be more than enough. Lumi Can you get out of here? The Ignite go down to shut down from the Graves. Pop up by the Rupture. Zyra's gone down. Double kill. That is an ace as soon as that plant is done doing his business. There you go. Super minions already pushing down on the base. Should be plenty of damage. Nunu's not going to be doing a whole lot here. You still got plenty of time. You got to get 20 seconds until Citizen Wave comes back up, but the Nexus should be gone by then.
Yeah, Graves is going to be able to just power through and take this. And holy smokes, against all authority, coming back from being down like 8K gold, I think, at one point.
It was significant. And the team fights, man. The team fighting was just superior, and he had Cho. You had that great frontline tank, and that is the danger of having one person ridiculously fed on your team, one person looking to carry the entire game. If you get caught, you're done.
Yeah.
You're done.
Yeah, and Cho'Gath really did what he needed to do in that game. He played slow, and I mean, he did. You don't need a lot of gold on Cho, and he didn't farm amazingly. He just died once in lane off that tower dive. And then he's just slowly built up those stacks into a point where he was just too tanky to take out. Yeah. And the presence of Cho'Gath in the